Coming up tonight, doubling down. Advocates at the Bahamas Crisis Center continuing their calls for changes to the Sexual Offences Act. Plus, concerning conditions. The National Security Minister says more attention must be paid to youth at risk, particularly those at the Simpson Penn Center for Boys. And later, put your money where your mouth is. One Junkanoo leader says more support is needed for Bahamian artists. These stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Suspected cocaine with an estimated street value of $1.2 million seized early this morning. Officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, along with partners from the Drug Enforcement Unit and the Customs Department, seizing some 205 pounds of suspected cocaine on Grand Bahama. Officer in charge of the Northern Division, Assistant Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles, credits good communication and execution with the discovery at the Freeport Container Port.
With the assistance of the container port security, executed and searched a container on that port and discovered in that container what you see before us, 81 kilos of suspected cocaine. We know that this shipment came from South America, and it is destined for somewhere in the U.S. Estimated street value is $1.2 million. This is just 205 pounds of suspected cocaine. Unfortunately, no one is in custody in connection with this incident, and that's why we're telling you that our investigation into this matter continues.
Meantime, the Bahamas Crisis Center doubling down on its fight to criminalize marital rape. This after Prime Minister Philip Davis told reporters that rape is rape, sparking activists to respond. Our Joshua Williams reports.
The issue of marital rape dominating headlines once again. This week, the Bahamas Crisis Center coming together to once again call on government to change the definition of rape in the Sexual Offences Act. While agreeing with Prime Minister Davis's notion that rape is rape, they still insist more needs to be done. For volunteer at the center and Deputy Director Dr. Camille Smith, there is a deeper problem.
And many times that domestic violence involves violence, rape, being forced to have sex with their partners, with their spouses, and not being taken seriously because our cultural norms often support the belief that once you are married, you have access.
This, she explains, is rooted in our cultural background.
We as a society and as a region believe that, okay, we're married, we now have license to free sex, to easy access to sex. And generally, yes, that is the case. But when that access involves violence, it needs to be curtailed. And here is why this particular issue of naming what is marital rape or spousal rape or rape that occurs within a marriage, here is why it's so important.
In 2022, the government drafted a bill that would criminalize marital rape and release it for consultation. Then Social Services Minister Obi Wilshcombe said the bill would likely need a few months' consultation and projected it would be tabled in Parliament by the end of 2023. But Parliament prorogued before that could happen. However, in August, the government passed a Protection Against Violence bill, which the Prime Minister feels protects against violence. Last May, Attorney General Ryan Pinder said outlawing marital rape was the #1 human rights issue his countries raised with the Bahamas when the United Nations Human Rights Commission reviewed its record in April. Many have opposed the bill first drafted in 2022, including some in the Christian community. Dr. Smith had this to say.
Yes, sometimes the church does cover what is happening because the church is concerned about keeping families together. We're concerned about keeping families together too, but we would like it to be healthy. We don't want people to feel as if it's okay for them to be abused.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Well, Bahamas Christian Council President Bishop Delton Fernando maintaining his stance on the discussion of rape. The Christian Council has been vocal since the consultation process of drafting legislation that would criminalize marital rape. Others have been equally vocal, including some at the Bahamas Crisis Center, calling out the church for what they describe as cloaking the issue. Prime Minister Philip Davis earlier saying that rape is rape and that it should not be classified. Bishop Delton Fernander agrees.
Rape is rape, and we don't want to condone rape in any form. And so as a society, we must speak to predominantly our men and help them to realize no is no. And we must do better in protecting the vulnerable in our society.
The Minister of National Security, Wayne Munro, along with Education Minister and Minister for Social Services, touring the Simpson Penn Center for Boys and the Willie Mae Pratt Center for Girls recently. Munro, during the launch of the Vulnerable Population Response for the Bahamas Law Enforcement Criminal Justice Agencies, otherwise known as the GBV Justice Program, yesterday, raising concern regarding the state for the Center for Boys.
Young men at risk and how they are being socialized. It is my regret to advise that if one looks at the facility at the Simpson Penn School for Boys and compare them to the Willie Mae Pratt School for Girls, it is a harbinger of concern for what is to become of the young men who are already at risk, who would have been committed to that school.
Munro emphasizing that there needs to be concern about properly socializing young men, particularly as statistics show they're more likely to commit criminal offenses. He says the overall goal is to have properly socialized citizens that would not exercise violence against another.
We must be concerned that a youth at risk is sent to a facility that is not conducive to changing his mindset, does not have surroundings that increase his sense of value. And comparatively, we have to concern ourselves on whether that gender discrimination between provision in Willie Mae Pratt as opposed to Simpson Penn, how that will impact the mindset of who, as the studies show us, is the main perpetrators of gender-based violence.
The level of murders in Abaco raising an alarm for Police Commissioner Clayton Fernander after a man was shot and killed outside a business last weekend. Fernander said the plan is to beef up manpower on the island.
We will do just that. To boost up additional manpower in that area, and even the family violence, not only Abaco but Elutra, where we see an uptick. And I intend, and this way our reserve will come in place. Our reserve, we have the resources. I will be sending a rotation on these family violence to continue that presence out there.
Fernander's comments came as he released crime statistics for 2023, which revealed overall crime is down except for rape. As it stands, the Bahamas has recorded 43 homicides for the year. The most recent murder for Abaco happened on April 13th. He provided this update on that homicide.
A business owner was closing his establishment along with other employees when a male appeared, masked, armed with a handgun, and shot the male victim. It appears though he was the target. The gunman went directly to him, and there was other persons there.
When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, preserving Bahamian culture, a local musician is calling for corporate support for the performing arts. His plea still to come. Plus, April is recognized as Confidence Month, and the Final Crown is looking to help Bahamian women celebrate themselves unapologetically. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Following the recent passing of well-known multidisciplinary and mixed media artist John Beadle this week, another local artist that has made his mark on the community is admonishing Bahamians to show more support for local talent. Assistant professor at the University of the Bahamas and leader of the Colors Junction Group, Christian Justilian.
We're in such a state now that we appreciate everything that's being imported in, and it's so easy. It's on television, it's on the radio, our music, our art, our dance forms, they're suffering. We're not passing it on. We had a national dance school. The national institutions need support, even here at the university.
Imagine, he says, a church service with no music or choir, a drive without songs on the radio, or a movie with no soundtrack.
It is all around us and we need it, but we continue to treat the artists and their craft like stepchildren. We need to do something about that consciously in our schools. We need to know that the young people are learning about all of the various arts. Make it a part of the curriculum, the national curriculum.
He says he believes outside influences are having a negative impact on the youth, pointing to the rise in crime in recent times.
Music of the Bahamas and art of the Bahamas in particular, you wouldn't feel like going out and doing a drive-by if you were listening to, I'd say 99.999% of the Bahamian music that's out there. It's speaking about us. It's telling our stories. It's non-violent. It's non-confrontational. It's something that we live. It expresses what we're all about. And the music that's coming in right now is becoming a part of our day-to-day lives. So when you see all the murders and all the rapes and stealing, that's because we're consuming that via international means.
Justilian is calling for more financial investment for young people with a passion for the arts.
I would like to appeal to the corporate citizens, those who come here to do business. Don't ship all the money back to headquarters. Invest a few dollars here via scholarships, materials. Put a building up in your name. You know, if you love music, if you love the arts, and you have a successful company, my goodness, give us a wing here in the music department. Give us a wing in the art department. So often, or much too often, we're overlooked by the business and tourism and other departments. But the music, the art, that is what's going to live on.
Well, April is recognized as Confidence Month, and last year, through a proclamation, April 29th is now officially recognized as Confidence Day. This month, young girls and women can expect a series of challenges and events aimed at growing self-value, self-esteem, and of course, confidence. Former Miss Bahamas Universe and founder of The Final Crown, Chantel O'Brien, leading the charge to build confidence within young ladies and women across the country. The beauty queen and coach says she's always been passionate about the issue. So far, participants have been engaged in a 30-day confidence challenge, undertaking various tasks to increase self-value.
We want women to feel connected, be able to network, be able to learn truthfully about what they can do to overcome certain obstacles and challenges. And what I'm also most excited about is the fact that being at the Art District Lounge, we're going to have the food, we're going to have the drinks, so we just need persons to come out, enjoy themselves, prizes and giveaways, of course, and really looking forward to that being a day of full-on confidence. Following that, April 29th, which will be the official Confidence Day.
This year's annual Confidence Conference will be held on April 27th at the Art District Lounge. O'Brien says this is more than just an empowerment event. event. Attendees can expect invaluable information, networking opportunities, and overall a great time led by outstanding Bahamian women.
A lot of what you think you can or cannot do is in the mind, and so what we want to do is be able to help train young ladies, especially to have the mindset that they can do anything that they set their minds to, as well as the fact that sometimes you may not have the resources at hand, and that's why we need each other as women to be able to collaborate. So it's less about competition, less about comparison, but more about collaboration so that we can each climb up the ladder, and that's really been my message throughout this entire time.
Managing partner of the Art District Lounge, Ron Pierre, says it was a no-brainer to help make the event a success. He says he is grateful to those that poured into him as a young man, and now he wants to extend those same opportunities to others.
I was truly blessed to where once I left the home, I found other people that actually poured into me. So in life, I heard the word unpredictable. You never know if you pour into someone later on what they can become. And the reason why I'm standing here talking to you right now and I'm full of that confident, somebody believed in me and they gave me that opportunity.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, maintaining healthy, glowing skin all summer long. We've got all the tips you need from a leading esthetician and her team. Plus,
we check out UB Fit and a top Bahamian baseball prospect bust out of his slump. Stick around for Our Sports.
this is Our News Weekend. Welcome back. UB Fit hits its 7th year and a top baseball prospect has a big day. Tage Adderley is here with Our Sports Weekend.
Thanks, Megan. Good evening. Welcome to the Our Sports Special Weekend Edition. I'm Tage Adderley. Each year, hundreds of athletes, running enthusiasts, and just people who want to get active participate in UB Fit. Our Sasha Lightborn was there this morning, and she has this report.
Hundreds gathered at the University of the Bahamas' Oaks Field campus before the crack of dawn for the 7th annual UB Fit Fun Run Walk this morning. The race was broken down into 3 categories: a 5K, 10K, and 15K races for runners, walkers, and those who just wanted to have fun. The top male and female in the 5K race finished in just under a half hour.
It was a good run. It was a bit longer than I expected. Usually it's 3.1, I think it was about 3.4, but it was a good race.
I normally do the longer distances, the 15K, but I haven't been training so much, so I thought the 5K would be nice and short, and it was super fun. It was really, really fun.
UB President Janine Hodder says she was happy to see how the race has grown over the years.
And it corresponds to our 50th anniversary year. So we have plenty to celebrate. All the runners and walkers that are out here today and their participation in the UB community, and our presence also, not just inside our walls and on our campus, but across the Bahamas. We have walkers and runners of all ages who are with us, and so I think it's also a testament to the country and to the growth of community sports and participation. So we're very happy to be hosting it, but we want to give kudos to all the people who are actually doing the hard work this morning.
One of the organizers of the race was Candace Eldon, who also participated. She said over $400,000 was raised as a result of this year's Fun Run Walk.
And our money goes to the annual fund, which helps students get laptops, research, technology. Our faculty can request funding for it. So the money is invested right back into UB. Corporate Bahamas has supported us from day one. Our title sponsor was First Generali, our second was Oak Tree, and now Doctors Hospital is our 3-year title sponsor.
Reporting for Our Sports, I'm Sasha Lightborn. Back to you, Tage.
Thanks, Sasha. Now we're going to head to the Diamond, where a top prospect is finding his swing. Sebastian Walcott had himself a night on Friday for the High A Hickory Crawdads. The Texas Rangers prospect went 2 for 5 with a single and a double, and he also scored a run to help his team get a 5-3 win over the Greensboro Grasshoppers. The game is major for Walcott as the season began in a 4 for 39 slump. Despite his early struggles, the 18-year-old shortstop is still highly regarded in the organization, beginning the season as the team's number 2 prospect. Less than a month into the season, he still has a lot of time to turn things around. And we are all done with sports for today. For the Our Sports Weekend Edition, I'm Tage Adderley.
On the other side of this break, looking to step up your skincare routine in the near future? Well, we've got you covered. Stick with us for a sneak peek into Skinistry Studios. Thanks for sticking with us. Summer temperatures rolling in this weekend, but for a better look at your weekend temperatures, here's meteorologist Ian McKenzie with your forecast around the islands. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Saturday evening forecast. Currently outside our studios, we're under clear skies with a temperature of 78. Winds are from the east-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Comfortable feels like temperature of 71. Taking a look now at temperatures across the country. In our nation's second city, Freeport, we have 78. 78 also in Nicholstown and in the capital, Great Harbor Key as well. 77 in Allenstown, 76 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, and 76 in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. In the central Bahamas, 77s continuing in Camps Bay, Arthurstown, 78 in Georgetown and Edmonds Key, 76 in Coburn Town, San Salvador. For the southeast Bahamas, 79 in Duncantown as well as Colonel Hill, 78 in Delectable Bay, Abrahams Bay as well, 81 in Matthewtown and 80 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. First look now at satellite and radar imagery. High pressure remains the dominant weather feature, suppressing any type of shower activity. So that spells good news for those that love the sunshine. For boating forecast, northwest and central islands, we're looking at winds southeast to south 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Low tide at 1:02 a.m. tomorrow morning, high tide at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. The southeast Bahamas still have those caution in those light swells, winds easterly 15 knots, seas 3 to 5, but up to 6 feet offshore. And for your extended forecast, pretty much carbon copy of what we've been seeing over the past week. We're looking at mostly sunny conditions with the highs getting into the low to mid 80s, your low temperatures hovering around the low 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
And as temperatures climb with summer approaching, skincare experts say it's more important than ever to take care of your skin. According to the owner of one of the top skincare studios on the island, it's important to have a solid routine to get healthy skin.
So our main priority is skincare. So we focus on medical grade facials, where we take care of clients who have acne and hyperpigmentation concerns. From there, we do things like laser hair removal, electrolysis, waxing, mole removal, chemical peels, you name it.
With nearly 6 years of dedicated service, Skinistry Studio caters to a diverse clientele with a promise of transformative results. Owner and lead esthetician Simone Gibson shares advice on maintaining skin health all year round.
Sunscreen is vital all year, but especially in the summertime because the sun and the UVA rays are strong during the summer season. From persons going on vacation to beach days to boating days, they are at a higher risk of more sun exposure during that time. So sunscreen acts as a layer of protection from the UVA rays and your skin from the sun. Sunscreen also helps with the risk of skin cancer, and I think we don't talk about that enough in the community. Even though skin cancer rates are extremely low among Black people, it does exist.
With the goal of helping individuals achieve healthy and glowing skin, Skinistry offers a wide array of services including skin facials, hair waxing, scalp detoxes, and even laser hair removal.
Laser hair removal is a form of permanent hair reduction using a combination of heat and light to destroy the hair follicle. It looks different for everyone. However, you still won't have to worry about shaving or waxing once you're keeping up with your sessions.
Not sure where to start? Here's a step-by-step beginner guide to start your skincare journey.
A gentle cleanser that is perfect for the summer, which has no active ingredients that you can use twice a day, or you can just stick to in the morning. That helps to remove oil and build up from the skin without stripping it and giving it too much dryness. Okay. A great second step to add to your regimen is a vitamin C toner or serum that you can use to add hydration to the skin. If you are on the oily side and you want to skip a moisturizer during the daytime, you can look for a great Moisturizer with sunscreen that can add hydration as well as protect your skin, preferably at SPF 30 and up.
Great advice. And thank you so much for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening.